Hi again, everybody. Scott here from the Jostens Service Station. Yep, time for another fill up, this time for the month of February. Coming up in a moment, a great feature interview on student motivation, something that's really lagging in a lot of schools right now. We'll talk with a top veteran advisor with some great tips and ideas for you. But first, let's start with some news, okay? Last call for the annual Jostens Photo Contest. The deadline is March 1st. Nothing will be accepted after that. So if you're watching this in March, sorry about that. If you're watching in February, come on, let's enter. Go to jostensphotocontest.com or jostens.com/photo contest. When you're there, be sure to download and check out the rules for the contest. You may need to get some written permissions for people that you picture. The winners and placers will then be announced sometime later this spring. Now, as you work on your book, have you checked your coverage report lately? Hopefully you've been image tagging or at least somehow keeping track of everybody. The question is, how many times are people in the book right now? Maybe do a bit of a comparison. The students that are only in 1 or 2 times versus that kid who's in 20 times. All right, probably enough of them. Let's see if we can get more of the first kids in another time or two. Maybe grab some staffers, maybe not doing a whole lot right now. Put them to work image tagging. You can even do this on pages that have already been submitted. That's allowed. If you need some help on this, just contact your Jostens representative. And if you'd like to show your yearbook staff what a really good, hard-working yearbook group looks like, perhaps you can check out what are usually called ASMR videos. Now, I've found that a lot of students are very familiar with these. If you go to YouTube, do a search for yearbooking, you'll see our whole lineup of Yearbooking Report episodes and some of these very interesting ASMR videos. All you do is you pick one, put it up on your big screen in your classroom, and let it roll for the entire class period. The idea is maybe find a way to get your group to emulate what that hardworking group is doing up on the big screen. And if you think that maybe your group is a good one to emulate, drop us a line at our contest email address. We'd love to hear from you. Here in February, but maybe most times of the year, getting your students motivated to go out and do their best yearbook work can sometimes be a real challenge for most advisors. How can you get your students doing their best work every single day? Recently, we talked to a top veteran yearbook advisor who shared some terrific ideas and tips.
Hi, my name is Mitch and I'm the journalism advisor at Kirkwood High School in Kirkwood, Missouri, a suburb of St. Louis. I think motivation has to be intrinsic, and by that I mean it has to come within the kid, but I think the ownership has to be editor and student leader driven. The advisor, the teacher, has to give the keys to the leaders of the program, and they have to be the ones kind of organizing the fun, planning the fun, so to speak, so that the staff remains motivated. One thing we do is I think you have to celebrate. Yearbook's a tough thing. The kids have amazing fortitude to work all year on this huge project, and then in one day, the book comes out. So you have to schedule rewards along the way. So after each deadline, we celebrate by recognizing the top producers of the month or of that deadline. So we'll recognize the top caption of the deadline, the top headline, the top photo, the top design. We'll give a spirit award for the deadline. So recognition is very powerful. Nothing's more powerful than praising students in front of their peers. It's a great motivator. When we get together, we do a late night once a month to work on our spreads, and we'll do theme nights, 80s night or Disney night. And we have our parents bring us food. Food is probably the biggest motivator for teenagers. That's no secret. So any type of reward like that is also positive and keeps them going. Recognizing kids on social media is another powerful kind of newer motivation. So all of our programs promote our staffers of the week and our photos of the week via our social media. So not only is that motivating, but that's powerful branding for your program. Really keeping yearbook and the weekly conversation of your student body is important, so that it doesn't just become a one-day-a-year thing. It's a weekly, sometimes daily thing in your school. Part of our motivation is we have started a phone-free Fridays in our program. Kids have stopped allowing themselves to be bored, and the most creative process, the most time you're creative is when you're bored, when you allow your mind to just wander a little bit, and we stop doing that. So I think that needs to be integrated into your program, so the kids do have a chance to start thinking and collaborating and just being creative. We do yearbook yoga on Fridays every once in a while too, where we just kind of relax and just take a break, because now more than ever, I think the fun, as ironic as it sounds, the fun and the relaxation needs to be scheduled. Kids these days have schedules more busy than adults. They have planners. They're toted from here to there. Everything's year round, whether that's music, athletics, whatever. So I think yearbook, newspaper, journalism in particular needs to be a part of that schedule. But I do share with my staffs that fun doesn't happen unless we're on the mark. If we're not meeting deadlines, if we're not together, if we're always picking up pieces, the last time we have for these fun activities. But I think that tone has to be set early, and I think it does need to be organized, and really organized by your top editors. So within a production schedule, a production cycle, they need to be planning these events on calendars, on weekly organizers, so that there is time set aside. I have an activities editor, in fact. That's how important it is in our program. And this editor is in charge with coming up with the week's games or activities, or making sure that thank you notes are being passed back in a timely manner. So getting some leaders on board is critical, and organization is paramount to make this happen.
Now that is pretty cool. We really thank Mitch for taking some time to share his advice and ideas. And how about that journalism facility, huh? Wow. But I tell you what, that's nice, but it's not necessary. But what you do need is a really organized, motivated staff to do a great yearbook. Now, you just saw a small portion there. If you'd like to check out the entire 35-minute interview filled with more great ideas and advice, be sure to check out our podcast at the address shown on the screen. And while you're there, make sure to mark to follow our Yearbooking Report podcast so you never miss an episode. And now the weather. Well, it looks like we have a front coming in from the west, and that could cause us some... All right, hold on. All right, that's better. Now, what's the point of all this? Sometimes, especially at this time of the year, maybe you just get stuck in a rut and you need to change things up. Perhaps take a day off, call it yearbook vacation day, bring in some snacks, and then get back to work the next day. Or maybe you have some aspiring young editors and it's time for a job role change. In other words, let them take command maybe for the rest of the school year. Especially at a high school, you have those seniors with the dreaded senioritis. Why not let some younger aspiring editors take over? It would be some great advanced training for your yearbook next year, and that is only a good thing. Well, my friend Punxsutawney Phil the Groundhog says early spring this year? Okay. If you live in those cold climates, or no matter where you are, warm up right now with some great yearbook work. For spring yearbooks, don't forget your final page deadline is coming up faster than you think. So the goal, hit every deadline, nail them, and of course always have fun doing it. Thanks for watching.